It's time to do your first spin. We're going to do a 2-foot spin, and I'm going to show you a few different versions. There's a version that you can do on one blade's edge, which I could never do on any of the other frames. It's where you spin on the 2 center wheels on both feet, and that looks like this. Push around, and you just stay on the center 2 wheels. I find it really balanced. Now another 2-foot spin, you push around and then you stay on the center 2 wheels and the pick and the front wheel. Now if this is your first time seeing any spins, remember when you do any spin on 1 foot, you spin on the pick and the front wheel. On an ice blade, you spin on the drag pick, which is that is a pick, ice pick, you spin on the drag pick, which is the bottom one, and the very front part of the blade, which is sometimes called the sweet spot or the front rocker. There's a million names, so as long as you understand what I'm talking about, that's all that matters. So which 2-foot spin is the easiest? Now there's a third one that people do, which generally I'm not sure I would advise to do. So they spin and they're on the heel. But that's not very good for balance. I would try in this order. So the first thing you need to learn to do is to be able to kind of get a little bit of speed. I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do that as well. So there's one way where you push around like this, and then you come in to your spin like this. You can also do little pushes like this, and then come into the spin, and then try to spin. But there you've got to do a couple of adjustments. You've got to go from here and then put your toe down and then go into that. So there's multiple ways to do everything. This is the way that I suggest you to try. First, I want you to have your arms out. I want you to practice doing this. Arms in, like you're hugging yourself. Not here, not too high, just straight in across your chest. Next, I want you to learn to do tiny little pushes like a pivot. If you don't know what a pivot is, this is a pivot. You pivot around your foot. When we're doing it, thinking about a spin, we want to be on the pick and the front wheel. So we practice where we're going. There's no point learning how to do it on here, and then when you get to do your spin, you put this muscle memory of staying on your pick instead of staying on your front wheel and your pick. You should as a coach, it's my job to teach you stuff that you'll need later, but you don't need to understand why sometimes. But I'd rather teach you the why so you understand. So we push around, get a little bit of speed, and then come in. And right now we're trying to get half a revolution, then 1, then 1.5, then 2. We're not trying to go, I want to do loads. That's not how we go. We start somewhere, we do what we can do, and then we make tiny little progressions over time, and every time you improve, it's like, yay, I improved. That's all it's about, improving, progression, and enjoying your figure skating, because there is nothing like figure skating on ice or on wheels. They're both great. On wheels, you can do it pretty much anywhere, and you can have a whole sports centre to yourself for £11 an hour. I mean, what are we saying? So, back to the spin. Push around, and then come in and spin. This is the one I would tell you to do. You can try to do the one where you go on the center 2 wheels. Now, should you be trying to spin both ways when you learn? Well, some people naturally spin better the other way. So this is the time when you would go, will I like to spin the other way? Or will I be able to spin both ways? Let's do it the other way. So now we'd have our right foot in on the front wheel and the pick, arms out, push around, and then bring the foot in and spin. And for me, I get dizzy. I got dizzy doing that. 1.5, 2 rotations, and I got dizzy. But you should try both just to see. Most people will spin to the left. The majority of the people do, but there's other skaters that do spin the other way. So if you are going that way, you push around, and then you come in like that. and I'm getting dizzy. So maybe you're going to be getting dizzy. So be mindful of that. Don't do too many and then you feel sick and then you're not feeling well. So let's wrap this up. 2 foot spin. The main things you need to think about. Arms out and don't be too straight. So as we push around, we've got a nice soft knee that we're pushing around. Push around and then you come in and then you stop. And that has been your 2 foot spin.